Today I thought we'd put One Size Beauty to the ultimate test. So if you're not familiar with One Size Beauty, this brand was created by the one and only Patrick Starrr. Instead of actually committing to buying full-size products because I'm iffy about this brand, I decided to buy the little trial sizes because that makes more sense. So today I'm gonna be trying out the One Size Secure the Blur Primer. I have an On Till Dawn setting spray, the Turn Up the Base Butter Silk Concealer, which definitely went super viral on TikTok many times. I have a translucent setting powder and their brow pencil. So to get started, I'm gonna start off with I'm gonna use the Secure the Blur Face Primer. This is a makeup magnet primer, and it is also supposed to be ultra blurring, pore refining with niacinamide that mattifies and evens out skin's texture as it grips makeup for flawless application and enhanced wear. Apply before makeup. No shit. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a bit like this much and start rubbing this into my skin. If you're someone who uses primer, just remember you don't need a lot. I personally don't like primer. I find it to be pretty gimmicky at the end of the day. For me and for my own personal experience, I find that just using a nice moisturizer prior to foundation works best, but everyone's skin is different, of course. It definitely smells nice. It just smells kind of lotion-y, but like not in a bad way. Now, while that's setting into my skin, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. I'm gonna be using the Browkiki brow pencil in the shade medium brown. Now, what I love about brow pencils is that they're so sharp and precise that I can really define my brows without overdrawing them. And obviously my brows are pretty shaped as it is just from them being waxed. So I really only need to fill in some of the little sparse areas and just bring down the tail of my brow a little bit. And at the beginning, I'm just going to structure them a little bit more and fill them in just like so. Alrighty, brows are on, and I definitely do really like this Browkiki brow pencil. I like that the product itself is nice and pigmented, and it has a very fine tip, as you can see. The only problem is with this, in my opinion, is that the product is very soft. I was barely applying any pressure onto my eyebrows, and the product just kind of like melts away onto your brows. You're probably gonna go through this very quickly, especially if you're someone who's very heavy-handed, but it did its job and it worked fantastically. So to backtrack a little bit with the Secure the Blur Primer, do I see it blurring? The very tiniest, smallest bit, like right here around my pores that I normally see a little bit, they look just very slightly blurred. Nothing crazy. It doesn't look like there's any blurring on my whole face.
Are you sure about that?
It doesn't really look mattified or anything like that. Nothing crazy. But again, that's why I don't really like primers, because they make a lot of promises and most times they don't really follow through. I'm just gonna quickly throw on my favorite Milani foundation. Then we will move on to trying out the very TikTok viral Butter Silk Concealer. Alrighty, foundation's on, skin is looking fantastic. Now it's time to try out the Turn Up the Base Concealer. So this is the infamous Butter Silk Concealer, and I'm using the shade Light 3N. This looked good when I was buying it online, so hopefully it actually does look good. So right off the bat, the doe foot applicator is a pretty decent size, like it's pretty large. This is reminding me of Shape Tape, which I absolutely loathe. Smell normal. I like to smell all my makeup just because I feel like it. So let's just start throwing this on. I'm gonna go down the sides of my nose like always, a little under my eyes, take it around, and then I'm going to throw some on my forehead because I got a fat forehead.
Ladies and gentlemen, her.
And a little bit down the bridge of my nose and right here. I think what's kind of odd, I don't think you guys can see it in person, whenever I apply concealer, it like turns immediately like blue/gray around the concealer. I don't know if that's normal, but it happens to me every time.
That's weird.
So whenever I do reviews, I try to keep them as equal across the board as always. So normally I would do this exact step when setting my concealer, so I'm gonna do it this time obviously at the same. So I'm obviously gonna do that this time as well. So I'm gonna spray it with a little bit of setting spray. Ooh, that spray's kind of weird. Smells kind of like Windex. And I'm just gonna start blending out my concealer. Okay, so this dries down very quickly. Usually my concealer has a good minute or two to be able to move it around. On the nose, it definitely was sticking in place. Like it took an extra couple seconds to blend it out compared to normal. So just be mindful of that. So maybe start off on just like one section at a time and work your way around your face instead of like mapping it out like this, because this is what I normally do and I never have a problem when I'm blending it out. But like as you can see, I'm like struggling and I'm trying to be quick about it. It is already drying down and I don't love that at all, actually. Like, do you see how patchy and dry that looks? Oh my gosh. How many times do I have to stamp it? Look at that. You can still see the line. Why was this viral? Typically, I find when I try products that are like super viral, it just ends up being one of those things where people hyped it up because they want to kiss a brand's and I'm not about that life. It definitely took a lot of work. Don't love that. It didn't really blend seamlessly into my foundation like it normally does. Like normally it's just very smooth and just a very nice blend, and this did not do that, so I'm not a fan of that. I'm gonna set my concealed areas with this translucent setting powder, and it's got the little thing inside so you can just peel the tab off. So I'm just gonna dump a little bit into the lid. I'm just going to stamp this under my eyes and anywhere else I applied my concealer. That powder definitely, as you can tell from this side to this side, you can see it's a bit more mattified and it definitely looks like it provided a bit of coverage, which I do like that. Alrighty, I'm gonna go do the rest of my face and I'll be right back to give you guys my final thoughts. Okay guys, I'm back. Full look is on. Are we loving it? So I want to run through my final thoughts on all these products after I give my face one last spray of the So I want to run through my final thoughts on all these products after I give my face one last, oh my god, I'm gonna use the whole bottle. So I want to run through my final thoughts on all of these One Size Beauty products after I give my face one last spray of the On Till Dawn setting spray. This mister is just weird, like a lot's coming out, but like it doesn't feel like anything's going on your face at all. Starting from the very beginning, the One Size Secure the Blur Face Primer. Do I think it had all this mattifying and blurring effect that it claimed that it would have? No, I think it's a gimmick like most primers are. Primers are essentially like the most low-grade skincare products you can possibly put on your face, marketed as something magical to make you buy it when you don't need it. So that's a no for me. So the One Size Beauty Butter Silk Concealer, I did not like it. I'm not really sure why it kept going viral on TikTok. I think a lot of people were just hyping something up for no reason as usual. It dried down so fast and I wasn't used to that and I didn't like that. I think a lot of people map out their faces like I do, so I feel like if you do that, you're gonna run into problems. And it was very, very difficult to blend out, and when I finally did get it blended out, it didn't blend into my foundation. I definitely am getting creasing under my eyes already, which I normally don't, so this is not something that I will use again. The translucent setting powder, it was fine. I like the component. I like that not a lot comes out into the lid when you're tapping it out. I think it did definitely mattify my under eyes a bit more than normal, so I do really like that. Do I think I'll use this again? Most likely not. We can't forget about the Browkiki brow pencil. I like this product. I think the pigmentation of it is really nice. The payoff is great. I like that the tip is very, very fine. It's easy to use. My only complaint is that the product is very, very soft itself, so it just kind of goes away really, really fast. So I feel like you're going to end up having to buy this more often than you'd want. And lastly, the On Till Dawn setting spray. It's a mattifying waterproof setting spray. I don't know. It smells decent, but like I said, a lot is coming out when you spray it, but like nothing is going on your face. Like I don't know how to make that make sense. Stuff is coming out, but there's nothing wet on my face. It's just weird. So I don't really like this. Overall, am I happy with the One Size Beauty products that I tried today? No. Will I use any of these products again? Only the brow pencil. I know there are a lot of new products that just came out for One Size Beauty, so if you would like my unbiased, honest review of those as well, please let me know and I'll obviously make sure to go out and purchase those and review them for you. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching my One Size Beauty review, and I'll see you in the next one.